You can't get rid of hip dips. You can't get rid of hip dips. It's your bone structure. You can't get rid of them unless you have surgery. So that is a common comment I've been getting on my posts when I've been posting my hip dip before and afters. And even though those comments are true in a sense, it is bone structure, but you can build muscle around the bone where the hip dip is, which is either the glute minimus or medius, depending on where your hip dip is at. And that's what I'm going to go into detail about in this video. Hi, I'm Tamera Leshan, and welcome to my channel, or if you're here on TikTok, welcome to my TikTok page. So if you clicked on my page, it's probably because you saw a video about either my weight gain, my glutes, or my hip dips. And if you're new here, I just want to let you know that I do have some services available. I have a free product that's available on Apple and Android. I will put it right here so you can see. And then I also have ebooks available, and I do offer in-person training as well. I'll go more into detail about these things towards the end of the video, and make sure you stay until the end for a 30% off code for my ebooks. Before we get into this video, I just want to show you guys my credentials on why I'm able to talk about this. I feel like some of you have been seeing videos about hip dips and you're following people that actually haven't done it. They're just saying stuff. And that's why I wanted to make this video, to kind of explain more about it, because I have seen some videos of people doing exercises or providing exercises that they said minimize their hip dips, when the research that I saw, those exercises had nothing to do with the muscle that is supposed to be targeted to minimize hip dips. So that's why I just wanted to go into more detail about it in this video, because I know some of you have been asking me for advice, you've been messaging me, you've been commenting, and I try to reply to everybody's comment, but I don't like repeating like the same thing over and over again, which is why I just make videos about it. But some people don't see those videos. They don't take the time to go on my page and actually look through my videos to find more information about it. So I'm just going to make one video. So this is all you guys have to watch. And if you want actual workouts or anything, then you need to go to my page and download this. So to get started, we're going to talk about what hip dips are. So it is caused by your bone structure, and it's not from a lack of fat or fitness. It's usually where your pelvis and femur meet and it connects, and some people have more prominent hip dips than others. Mine were not as prominent, so it didn't take me as long to minimize them, but others, it might take you a little bit longer. It only took me about 3 to 6 months to minimize mine. Now, I just want to also say there's nothing wrong with hip dips. I know some people like them. I just personally did not like them on myself, and so that's why I was trying to figure out a way to minimize them. I'm not really a surgery person when it comes to my body, so I just wanted to find a natural way to do it. And when I was doing research about glutes and glute parts, I was thinking about the fact that the minimus is under the medius, and that's where my hip dips were. So that's why I started targeting the minimus, and that's how they minimized. So I want to get into what actually helped me minimize them. So for me, growing my glute minimus was what made my hip dips less prominent. Now, some people have said growing their medius is what helped them. So for that, I just want to say that it really depends on where your hip dips are on your glutes. So for me, mine were a little bit lower, so it was under the medius. So that's why I, for a certain amount of time, did not work my medius as much as my minimus. And some of you have been confused about when I say that I did glute minimus isolation. So when I say that, I mean that I did exercises that target the glute minimus more than the medius. It is actually impossible to target just one of those, because the minimus and the medius are very close together. If you can see right here, they're under each other. So when you do any type of movement that is an isolation movement, it is going to work both of them, but there are exercises that target one part more than the other. So that's what I did. I targeted the minimus more than the medius, and I tried to avoid targeting the medius more, because when I first started, it made my hip dips more prominent, and that's why I stopped doing that. So once I started targeting that area, it rounded it out a little bit, and you can tell from the front and the back. And right now I'm focusing on the medius again, because I'm trying to build like the upper portion from the side, not really from the front, but from the side. And that's why I recently switched to glute medius training instead of glute minimus. The exercises that I started off with to target my glute minimus were single leg glute bridges and side laying hip abduction. So those two, when I looked at the research article, were I think in the top 5 as far as like minimus activation. So that's why I started off with those. there are other exercises that target it, and I basically would just switch out those exercises like every 6 to 8 weeks so that I was still challenging the muscle. I do have a 12-week hip filler challenge. It's available. If you're interested, just go to my bio and it should be the top link in my link tree. So for my training routine, I did train glutes 3 times a week. I had one glute day, which was Wednesday, where I specifically only trained the minimus, and I did that. I've been doing that about the whole time until I think within the last month is when I changed it to glute minimus and medius. So I focused on the minimus the whole time that I was trying to minimize my hip dips, and that's what helped me. So for nutrition, I was in a calorie surplus. You can do this in a maintenance since you can lose fat and gain muscle at the same time. But as far as the calorie deficit, it's not going to work because if you're trying to build in an area, you need to be in either a maintenance or a surplus because you're trying to build muscle. So the whole point of hip dips is to build muscle around that area to round it out. Now, I've had a common question about like if I stop working out, is it gonna come back? Yes, that happens with any time you do any type of workout. Like you have to maintain muscle or it's going to slowly like go away. It's not going to all go away at once, but muscle still needs to be maintained. So that's why when you do start working out, you still at least want to be active. You don't have to be active as much as you were in the beginning to gain that muscle, but you do have to still stay active to keep the muscle. Another question I've got is how long did it take me? So like I said in the beginning of the video, I started seeing more progress around months 3 to 6, but depending on how deep your hip dips are and if you're in a maintenance or a surplus is how long that's going to take. Since I was in a surplus, it didn't take me as long, and since my hip dips weren't as prominent, that's why also it didn't take as long. So for more prominent hip dips and your nutrition, it could take longer, but it is not impossible. Stop letting people tell you guys that, because I've seen a lot of videos about that oh, you can't get rid of them. The only way you can get rid of them is like by getting surgery. That's not true. You can minimize them. That's not getting rid of them, but you can minimize them. And that could make you feel more confident, could make you feel better. It did for me. I don't need surgery to completely get rid of them. I know I can't get rid of them, but I do want to make them less noticeable, and that is what I did. So I think that is all the information I have for you guys. Obviously, if you have any more questions, you can always comment and I will answer them to the best of my ability. But as far as my other services, like I said, I do have an ebook available. I have a glute ebook, which focuses just on the glute specifically. And then I have body shape ebooks, which focus on body shape and transforming your body shape into a more hourglass figure, because that has been my goal and that's what I did. So for those ebooks, I do have a code for you guys. If you do want to go grab one of those, the 30% off code is going to be DIPS because of this video. So that's what the code is going to be, and it will never expire. You can go on my website and you can use that anytime. As far as my in-person services, I am taking in-person and virtual clients now. I do have 4 spots available right now, so if you're interested, just DM me on Instagram and I can give you all the information. I hope this video helped you guys. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I will be posting more in here. I'm trying to make more in-depth videos for you guys as well, so you don't have to keep scrolling through my TikTok. So I will start posting more on here. If you guys have any video ideas, you can always DM me or comment them on here and I will get to them when I can. Also, if you are on your hip dip journey, please, please, please join the Hip Filler Challenge. I really want you guys to have a community of all of you so that you guys can share your progress, and having a community and having someone that's going through the same thing you're going can be motivating. So if you are on your hip dip journey and you're trying to fill in your hip dips, please join the challenge, because I do want all of you guys to have your dream body and know that it is possible. It's not impossible. It just takes time and dedication. If you guys need a part 2 to this video, just let me know. I feel like I covered just about everything, but if I missed anything, I will make a part 2, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.